How does a boy who once ran the streets of a Parisian suburb, collecting garbage to help his family, rise to lift the Premier League, Champions League, Europa League, and World Cup trophies? How does someone so humble become the heartbeat of Leicester City's historic title, Chelsea's dominance, and France's World Cup winning midfield? This is the incredible journey of N'Golo Kanté, from the streets to the world's greatest stages. N'Golo Kanté was born on March 29, 1991, in the quiet Parisian suburb of Suresnes. His parents, immigrants from Mali, worked tirelessly to provide for their family. Life was simple, and resources were scarce. From a young age, Kante understood responsibility. While other children played without concern, he collected garbage to help his family make ends meet, demonstrating a work ethic and humility that would define him for life. Football was never about fame for Kante. It was about survival, discipline, and purpose. He joined JS Suresnes, a small local club, where he was immediately noted for his relentless energy and mental sharpness. Coaches recall a boy who was always first to arrive at training, last to leave, constantly analyzing the game, learning how to position himself, intercept passes, and read opponents' movements even at a young age. Unlike most young players who rely on flair and flashy skills, Kante's strength was intelligence and anticipation. Even as a teenager, he seemed to predict the flow of the game, cutting passing lanes before they happened, recovering the ball, and launching counterattacks with impeccable timing. These early habits would become the foundation of his professional identity. The invisible engine who controlled matches without needing the spotlight. By 2012, Kante moved to Boulogne, stepping into professional football in France's third division. The transition was tough. Games were faster, physical, and mentally demanding. Kante thrived. Against senior defenders, he relied on his stamina, reading of the game, and relentless pressing, qualities he had honed while playing in the streets and helping his family. Scouts began to take notice. In 2013, he joined Caen in Ligue 1. Here, his reputation as a midfield disruptor grew. In one memorable match against Montpellier, Kante completed an astonishing series of interceptions and tackles, repeatedly stopping dangerous attacks and turning defense into offense. His ability to transition from recovering the ball to initiating counterattacks caught the attention of top European clubs. Kante's early life and work ethic were inseparable from his footballing style. From collecting garbage in Suresnes to dominating Ligue 1, Kante's journey was already a story of determination and heart. And then came Leicester. Summer 2015. Leicester City had just survived relegation by the skin of their teeth. Their midfield was slow, their defense exposed, their chances of competing with Manchester City and Chelsea absolutely zero. Then Steve Walsh, Leicester's chief scout, made a phone call that would change football history. "We need to sign N'Golo Kanté now. £5.6 million. That's what Leicester paid, less than what Chelsea spent on squad bonuses. But what they got was football's equivalent of discovering gold in your backyard." The transformation was immediate. August 2015 versus Sunderland. Kante made 8 tackles, 4 interceptions, ran 11.2 kilometers. Suddenly, Vardy and Mahrez had the freedom to create magic because they knew if they lost the ball, N'Golo would win it back within seconds. What made him special wasn't just his physical gifts, it was his tactical intelligence. He didn't just win the ball, he won it in positions that immediately launched counterattacks. Every interception became a potential goal. December 14th, 2015 versus Chelsea. Against his future employers, Kante gave a masterclass. He intercepted Fabregas's killer passes, shadowed Hazard out of the game and launched the counter-attack that led to Vardy's winner. Jose Mourinho watched from the sideline, knowing he was witnessing something special. February 6, 2016, versus Manchester City, Guardiola's City arrived at the King Power expecting to dominate possession. Instead, they met Kante's pressing machine. 12 ball recoveries, 6 tackles, 3 key passes. City's £200 million midfield was made to look ordinary by a boy from Suresnes. Ranieri's Leicester wasn't just lucky. They were perfectly structured around Kante's unique abilities. His positioning created a defensive screen that allowed fullbacks to push forward. His ball-winning enabled instant transitions. His stamina meant he could maintain this intensity for 90 minutes, every game. By April 2016, the impossible was happening. Leicester were going to win the Premier League. May 3, 2016. When Tottenham drew 2-2 with Chelsea, confirming Leicester's title, N'Golo Kanté had completed one of sport's greatest individual seasons. 175 tackles, most in the league, 156 interceptions, 74% pass accuracy, despite playing in a counter-attacking system. But the story was just beginning. Summer 2016, Antonio Conte knew exactly what he was getting for £32 million. In his first season, Kante didn't just help Chelsea win the Premier League, he revolutionized how they played. In a 3-4-3 formation, Kante became the metronome. He sat deeper, controlled the tempo, and gave Hazard, Costa and Pedro the freedom to terrorize defenses, knowing their midfield was secure. Tottenham, January 2017. Against their title rivals, Kante controlled the game without a single flashy moment. 11 ball recoveries, 94% pass accuracy completely nullified Dele Alli's threat. Chelsea won the title with 7 games to spare. The numbers that tell the story: Leicester before Kante, 17th place, nearly relegated. Leicester with Kante, Premier League champions. Chelsea before Kante's return, 10th place. Chelsea with Kante, Premier League champions. 2 consecutive title wins with 2 different teams. In modern football, that simply doesn't happen. Unless you're N'Golo Kanté, but the biggest stage was still waiting. Russia, 2018. France arrived with a galaxy of stars. Mbappé's lightning pace, Griezmann's creativity, Pogba's power. But Didier Deschamps knew the secret to unlocking this talent: N'Golo Kanté. While everyone focused on France's attackers, Kante was orchestrating from the shadows. His role: simple in concept, impossible in execution. Be everywhere, see everything, control everything. In the group stage versus Australia, Kante covered 11.7 kilometers, made 8 tackles, 5 interceptions. Australia's game plan was to disrupt France's rhythm through aggressive pressing. Kante turned their press into French counterattacks within 20 minutes. Versus Peru, against South America's most organized defense, Kante was France's key to unlocking the game, not through flashy passes or shots, but by winning possession in advanced positions, giving Mbappé and Griezmann the ball in dangerous areas. Versus Denmark, the one game France struggled, Kante was slightly deeper, more conservative. It proved how crucial his positioning was to France's attacking flow. Round of 16 versus Argentina, the Messi test. This wasn't just a football match. It was a masterclass in tactical nullification. Lionel Messi, the greatest player of all time, met his match in N'Golo Kanté. Argentina's entire game plan revolved around getting the ball to Messi in space. Kante's job: make sure that space never existed. 23rd minute, Messi receives the ball in his favorite position. Kante appears from nowhere. Clean tackle, launches counterattack that leads to Griezmann's penalty. 57th minute, Argentina, 2-2 France, momentum shifting. Kante intercepts Di Maria's pass, finds Pogba, who scores the winner. 68th minute, Messi's last real chance. Kante's positioning forces him wide, chance gone. Quarter-final versus Uruguay. Uruguay's defensive masterclass met France's midfield maestro. Kante controlled the tempo so effectively that Suarez and Cavani barely touched the ball in dangerous positions. Semi-final versus Belgium. Belgium had the tournament's most creative midfield. De Bruyne, Hazard, Lukaku. On paper, they should have overwhelmed France. They didn't account for Kante. Eden Hazard, fresh off his best-ever season, couldn't get past Kante's intelligent positioning. Not through rough tackles or fouls, but through perfect anticipation and positioning. Final versus Croatia. The ultimate test, Croatia's midfield trio of Modric, Rakitic, and Brozovic had been the tournament's revelation. They'd outplayed Argentina, outmuscled England, and were confident they could control the final. First 55 minutes, before illness forced him off, Kante had already decided the World Cup. 6 ball recoveries, 4 key passes, complete tactical control. When he left the field, France were 2-1 up and in total control. Croatia's best period, the 20 minutes after Kante left the field. His replacement couldn't match his positioning, his anticipation, his ability to snuff out danger before it developed. As confetti fell in Moscow, N'Golo Kanté had completed football's most improbable journey, from collecting bottles in Suresnes to lifting the World Cup. 27 years of pure determination. In the tournament, distance covered 72.8 kilometers, most by any player. Tackles won 19, tournament high, interceptions 18, pass accuracy 91%. Not the flashiest numbers, but the most crucial ones. After lifting the 2018 World Cup, Kante returned to club football not to rest, but to dominate. At Chelsea, he remained the heartbeat of the team, the invisible engine connecting defense and attack, breaking up opposition plays, and dictating the rhythm of every match. In the 2018-19 Premier League season, Kante's influence was immediately visible. Against top sides like Manchester United, Liverpool, and Tottenham, he recovered possession at critical moments, closed passing lanes, and allowed Chelsea's attackers to exploit space. He was no longer just a destroyer. He had become a complete midfielder, equally capable of launching rapid counterattacks. The 2019 UEFA Europa League final versus Arsenal highlighted his genius. Kante intercepted crucial passes from Torreira and Xhaka, immediately transitioned the ball to Mason Mount and Christian Pulisic, and shut down Arsenal's attacking outlets. Every time the ball entered Chelsea's half, Kante was there, a guardian, a tactician, a tireless force. Chelsea lifted the trophy 4-1, and once again, Kante's role was decisive. In 2021, the pinnacle of his club career came in the Champions League final against Manchester City. City's midfield, led by Kevin De Bruyne, was widely regarded as the most fluid in Europe. But Kante neutralized their movements with precision. He covered over 12 kilometers, won 10-plus duels, made multiple interceptions, and initiated several counterattacks. His positioning was flawless. Every recovery immediately became a launch pad for Chelsea's attack. By the final whistle, Chelsea were European champions, and pundits hailed Kante's performance as one of the greatest individual displays in a Champions League final. Even as injuries began to challenge him, Kante's tactical intelligence and anticipation allowed him to remain dominant. Against clubs like Liverpool, Manchester United, and Real Madrid, he continued to recover key balls, disrupt play, and control tempo. His ability to read the game, position himself, and support teammates remained unmatched. Off the pitch, Kante remained the same humble man from Suresnes. He avoided the spotlight, focused on his craft, and became a role model for young players, demonstrating that discipline, intelligence, and humility could achieve sustained greatness. From collecting garbage in the streets of Paris to lifting Premier League, Europa League, Champions League, and World Cup trophies, Kante's journey is a testament to relentless work, perseverance, and an unwavering team spirit. N'Golo Kanté, the humble engine, the tactical genius, and the quiet warrior whose intelligence, heart, and determination left an indelible mark on the world of football. He didn't just play the game, he controlled it without ever needing the spotlight.